Hey everyone, it is me, Phoenix XT, and this is, I don't know why I did that. This is another video with me, and this one I recorded before and I kind of didn't like how it came out. So this is basically a series I was planning on doing, which is it's kind of like a Zodiac based theory, not theory, story, series. I can't English today. Anyways, so I'm actually one to be a huge fan of, I can't get my life straight, astrology. And basically, I like space and constellations and whatnot, but I also like zodiacs and astrology in that sense. And so I follow a lot of that and I do a lot of research on it because I find it super fascinating to me. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but don't believe that stuff because it's not true, so on and so forth. That has nothing to do with anything, which I would agree to disagree. And I feel like that's because I feel like there is some truth to it. And I feel like a lot of people don't actually feel like they relate to it because it actually comes with a lot more to that. So the thing is with astrology, if it interests you, is when it comes to the zodiacs, is that when you are born, there's a specifics that comes to it. So it has to do with the stars and the planets that have aligned to the specific coordinates that you were at when you were born and in that time. So with those specific coordinates, I think that has and best reference you could describe it as there's a specific magnetic pull and the magnetic impulses control, I guess, personality wise. A lot of people, again, they don't believe that, or that doesn't seem accurate to them. Again, believe what you want. I feel like there is some truth in that. So, for example, there are certain planets and whatnot that's aligned when you are born. Hold on, let me look for this book that I have. No. Okay, so here with me, I have this journal that some black marks on it, that my aunt got me, I believe, on Christmas one year, or was it last year, or something like that. Anyways, so in this book, I have, I keep up with a lot of different things. I like to write down different dreams that I have so I can continue to remember them, because that's one thing. If you want to learn to try and control dreams and remember what dreams you've had, you have to constantly write them down so that way you can continue to remember them. Anyways, besides the point. So I write down different stuff like that in here. And I also just kind of like to sketch some stuff here. So anyways, in this book, I've actually wrote down my natal chart. So if anyone knows, a natal chart is basically a cheat sheet to what's been aligned at your time of birth. So for me, I was born on June 4th, making me a Gemini, which in my opinion seems pretty accurate already, just because the certain traits people give Geminis that they're talkative, which, yeah. So yeah, my sun sign is in Gemini. The moon was aligned with the constellation Sagittarius at that time of my birth. My Mercury is also in Gemini. Venus is in Aries. Jupiter is in Gemini. Saturn is in Gemini. Uranus is in Aquarius. Neptune is in Aquarius. Pluto is in Sagittarius. Lilith is in Aquarius. And my ascending is Capricorn. So, to a lot of people, none of that made sense. But to thoroughly get into why I have more similar traits to Gemini is because if you heard it and tallied it up, more than anything, a lot of the constellation, a lot of the planets have met up with Gemini at that same time, and they aligned closely towards that. So that's why I have more of a specific trait. So if, for example, if somebody feels like they don't have the same traits as their main zodiac sign, which is the sun sign. It's probably because something else in their natal chart is actually towards another sign, or they just don't have enough of the same constellation on just different ones. So they don't really have a specific personality that you can just be like, oh, yep, they're like that, or, something else. So that would be my quick explanation. But again, that's just kind of like a cheat sheet. So now, for me, I have researched it a lot. And so I also even have a astrology book right here. This is called The Only Astrology Book You Will Ever Need. I got this off of eBay, and it's been lightly used, so it looks a little wrecked. I got this a few weeks back for like $5 on eBay. It was not bad. And I just thought it was interesting, again, because I like researching it. But anyways, I thought it would be interesting to make an entire series of different zodiac signs and the most common traits that each sign might have. So basically, I feel like there's multiple different people for a certain sign. So for today's video, I'm going to be discussing Aries and different types of Aries people. Oh my god, sometimes when I talk too much, I can't breathe because I talk way too much. Anyways, also, I have sleep apnea, so I feel like my lungs are just... Anyways, back to it. That's for a next video. Where are my notes? I had it here. Okay, so type of Aries. First one, violent. So, Aries is depicted as the ram. They have horns, and they're super violent. Probably will be the first to want to throw hands. Can't be calmed down. You'll have to let their anger wash over. These ones might not just want to fight, but they're also pretty argumentative. So, like I said, rams as the actual animal, they're known as like something that, of course, is going to ram into you, and they're really angry and they want to just go head first into something. And I just feel like they're really violent. They're just like headstrong about a lot of things. And then the next person I have on Aries is a dumpster fire. Okay? Listen, I call them the dumpster fire because they're just too stubborn for their own good. All right? It's something they could be wrong, know they're wrong, and still argue that they're right, even though they know that they are wrong. Okay? So nothing can be said to change their mind. And that's what's the worst thing is. Like, personally, I've dealt with several different Aries people, and I have dealt with that situation. I'm like, you do know you're wrong, right? And then they won't admit that they're wrong either. I feel like they know themselves that they're wrong, but they just don't admit that they're wrong. And that's like the worst thing. And there's an uncommon chance that they actually do admit that they're wrong, but then they get really salty that they had to admit that they're wrong. So there's that whole thing. And again, I've met so many different Aries, and that has happened a lot. So that's just a different situation. But more than anything, it's pretty annoying. Not gonna lie. Love them, but you want to choke them out. Okay, but then the third Aries person, I call them the boomer. And I don't mean like the meme that's going on around. It's like, okay, boomer. No, I mean boomer as in they're constantly vocal and they're loud all the time. And it doesn't bother me personally as a person because I'm loud myself, and that's just me. I'm just like a really loud person. But sometimes they can start talking and not even realize that they're loud. And I feel like, because this is also me personally, because I just do this to as well, if you want to tell them that they should try like lowering their volume, try and say it like the best way you can without being too aggressive about it, because they will probably get defensive and get to a certain way, and that makes them into the violent Aries where they're like, throw some hands, man, like, you want to come at me, bro. They will get defensive about it, And they just kind of, because they're just like, why are you going to call me out on that, you know? Don't call me out for being loud. I'm sorry. I'm really passionate. Okay, and so I think this is the fourth one. We have the pyromaniac. Again, pyromaniac, I would say it's pretty rare. And I mean it in a sense where I haven't really met one like this, but I feel like this is just something that is, it would just make sense to me. So, the element under Aries is fire, and also Aries is the first sign of the Zodiac, officially. So I feel like that makes them strong fire lovers. And I mean it in like the creepy sense where like they could be staring at a bonfire and then like you see like a fire in their eyes and then there's like this huge smile. So have you ever seen The Incredibles? And when Edna was with Mrs. Incredible, is just looking through the suits, and then she sees one of them catch on fire, and you see that fire, the image of the fire in her eyes, and she's just with this wide smile. That's the pyromaniac Aries. That's them. Okay, so when they see fire, that ooh, fire, yes. So be careful. They will probably do something stupid one day involving fire. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, that's them. Let's see. I just feel like fire also just generally fascinates them. Okay, so the next one, that's the fifth one, almost done. The sarcasm Aries. Honestly, sarcasm Aries might be one of my favorite Aries, and it's because they're hilarious. And I say it is because they speak fluent sarcasm. They will slap you in the face with words of sarcasm, and it's just like the funniest thing. And you could just be asking them something simple, and if it's stupid to them, they'll just be like, sarcasm. So I feel like just be really careful around them in case you don't want to get your feelings hurt for being stupid, because they will call you out on it. Just think of Chandler being off of Friends, and that is sarcasm Aries. Okay, so the sixth and final one that I have here under the, Aries traits is the SJW Aries. And I've met one of these, and she's awesome. Okay, so this is like the social justice warrior. Okay, so Aries make great SJWs, in my opinion, because their stubbornness. That doesn't mean anything. That does not have to be a negative connotation. And I'm saying this, their stubbornness makes them strong. And I feel like basically being a ram, they're automatic fighters by nature. Okay? And they're not pushovers. So they're not going to just be sitting here and just take crap lying down. Okay? They're going to be like, no, that's wrong. And I'm going to tell you why it's wrong. Because I'm right. But listen. So they're just going to be really upset about it. And they're just going to be super like high strung about it. And I just feel like that just makes a really good SJW. Like, you don't want, like, the ones that just don't fight for anything. And they're just like, okay, if you say so. I also feel like they're, like, the very informed ones. So they know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about. And they've actually looked things up. And that's why they make good SJWs. You don't want an SJW who's just there and is actually not informed. And so they're just spitting out stupidity. Okay, I feel like good SJWs are the ones that are actually well informed. They have evidence to back it up. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, a good debate, it should always be backed up with great evidence. That's a whole other story. But anyways, I feel like this type of Aries, they fight for what they believe in. That's really important. So at the end of the day, I think those are all like the main Aries signs. I'm hoping I got them all right. I don't know. You let me know in the comment section if you feel like I actually got somebody to the T. If you're an Aries, let me know which one you think is the closest to you. Let me know if I missed any other type of Aries. If not, I'm going to see if I can continue this series. My next one is obviously going to be Taurus, if you know the order of the zodiac signs. So Aries is the first one, next is Taurus, following is my zodiac sign, which is Gemini. The 4th will be Cancer, followed by Leo. Let me think. Leo, Virgo, Libra. I think after Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and then Piscis, the fish gang. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye. Like and subscribe if you want.